talking about various parameters that Ashwini just mentioned on how to rate art, I mean, people from the art world surely hate it when a client comes up to them and tells them that can we value a painting on a basis of per square centimeter, per square inch. Sonal, to you first, what would you say to a client like this? I mean,
so we don't value
all these parameters.
I mean, we don't actually value anything, at least not at 50 per square inch. But what we do look at, again, is quality, and Ashwini, I think, has said a lot about quality. But also rarity, provenance, and condition is important. And, there are trends, of course. If you're looking at the value, if you're looking at Hussein's, you could look at, there could be a particular year, there could be particular periods that are more, popular, or maybe even sort of critically regarded as better works. And all of those things come into play, but it is, if you're valuing work, again, you can't, artworks are unique. You can't say, it's not like buying 100 shares and I'm out of my depth, so I have no idea, but of one company or something. Each one is unique, and a work by a great artist is not always great, so you take it on a case by case.
Right. Actually, you're someone who gets a lot of first time investors, so you surely get to hear this more often than someone from 50s would get to hear that possibly.
See, let me, I beg to differ on, when people talk about, there is no valuation, methodology. See, be it a gallery, or be it a dealer, or be it an auction house, or a collector, when there's a transaction which is to take place, they set up a benchmark. Or they say that this is my lower estimate, I don't want to sell below that. So that mindfully, they have done a valuation. So it's not right to say that, but as Sonal did say that, you cannot exactly come out with a, exact valuation. But there are definitely some benchmarks. Let's take a theoretical case. Before this Tayyab Mehta, that which Vineet Jain did sell, Tayyab had done the paintings in the past, right? But the market cap had not been capitalized. One particular transaction which did hit the headlines, the benchmarks had been created. Now after that, the rest of the property of Tayyab Mehta, the works of art which he has created, automatically get at least to some benchmark, valuation. I mean, to be very honest, like suppose I give a call to a particular gallery, without looking at the work, I said, I want to acquire one good Tayyab Mehta. The answer would come in. Yeah, it would come in the price range of this, without looking at the work. So, even in the business of art, the notional value is known to everybody, to a buyer and to a seller also. So, the valuation is there, but everybody could follow a different methodology. I mean, you pose this question, I have at least, 3,000 first-time collectors, right? And we remember 3 years back, when we said, okay, we are recommending you buy this painting. So the answer was, you think for this piece of paper, you want me to shell out 25 lakh rupees? I am not mad. Today, having acquired that, some of those are in the audience also, and we go back to them that, okay, we are willing to pay you 1 crore. So I am not wanting to sell it. Now, how did this both valuations work? So as I'm saying that since we have to nurture clients, they have to understand how did he reach this valuation that even for 1 crore he doesn't want to sell. So there is some valuation hypothesis which is working out in the market. I mean, if I walk into a gallery and I say, I want to buy a work of art, say of this artist, so the price is mentioned, it's there in the catalog. So valuation is there. But that depends on the seller, that okay, I want to sell at this price. If the transaction takes place, it means this is the benchmark price.
Probably open it up for a few questions as well.
Yes.
Our audience has been so patient. I mean, if you guys have any questions, just identify yourself and who it's for. Yeah, please go ahead.
I'd just like to be educated as a potential investor in art. So I have 2 questions. One is, at a broad level, would you say that in 2010, Indian art, you should find more questions to Indian art, is fairly valued, undervalued or overvalued? And the second question is that let's say for equity, I understand the sub-classification, right? I can either categorize it by large cap, mid cap, small cap, or by auto stock, financial services, and so on and so forth, whichever way. What are the ways that you would classify Indian art? And what would your view be on the valuation today? And what kind of risk profiles are associated with sub-classification in terms of your risk and return?
You know, if you just replace the word art with equity over there, these are generally questions I ask the lady who's sitting to your right. Very often. But Ajay, you want to take that one?
See, you were straight away trying to compare us with art cannot be compared, as Ashwini also did say, with equities, But just for the, sake of, classifying, if you would look at it, of course, we could categorize, okay, the upcoming artists are like, penny stocks. But like our masters are like blue chips, that categorization is in any case there. I mean, what was your other question?
Yeah. So my question is that if you want to classify them, let's say as established artists, let's say of the Hussain variety, and the emerging artists, how would you rank these two as investments in terms of risk return profile? Now, for example, if I would just stretch the analogy, and I know there are limitations in the analogy. By and large, blue chips are safer investments as compared to mid caps, right? They're more volatile and so on and so forth. But the financial outlay required to invest in the blue chip may be larger than that in the mid cap.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure such similar analogies also apply in some loose fashion in the art world. So what would be the broad guidelines would give?
See, as I said, that the guidelines would differ from individual to individual, but let me tell you that if you look at my advice, my advice to everyone who's putting money for the first time in buying of art, one thing is there way to remove this word like investing. You want to become a collector. Because the moment you are entering with a perception, I'm investing. Of course, if the money is going to you investing. But you're looking at, okay, I'm buying only purely for the sake of returns. You have to become a collector first. And it is better, like you said, that if somebody starts buying into equity for the first time, everybody would advise, okay, you buy a blue chip. So my advice would be for a beginner to begin with an established master, maybe with a smaller amount.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to know the panel's views on what I would classify as, say, alternate art or affordable art. Alternate or affordable art. When we look at the international markets, we see that there is a very mature market available for things like lithographs and serigraphs and those kind of work, which is a pretty nascent market in India, or probably close to non-existent, slightly coming up. What is the panel's views on these kind of works?
The market, it actually has a lot more to it, like you said, than just oil on canvas. There's also sculpture, there's installation, and there's a lot of new media. So there's video and even sound, photography. It again comes down to education and how much you understand of the work and whether you're following the artist or this is an area that's of interest to you. We've done really well with print, even photography in our sales. We're looking at, we're now including video in Hong Kong. So, there is a market for everything. But again, if you're buying something you like, then the odds are you're doing something right, So, I don't actually think I don't think it's the affordable art. I mean, you get oil for 50,000 rupees as well. So, if you mean because it's an editioned work, it's lower value, possibly it's a great way to start as well. You could get a watercolor, say, of Atul Rodia or a drawing of Suzar, at a really sort of attractive price. And then start from there, and then you're not sort of taking a dive into the deep end with a big canvas for 2 crores, but maybe you're starting at something like 1 or 2 lakhs, and there are opportunities at every level.
Let's wind it up on that note. I know there were a couple of questions, but I think our guests will be around for a bit more since they also have first future commitments. But my thanks to all of you on behalf of Seher, myself, and our entire crew over here for taking time out and being here, and to all our panelists as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.